Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Now in this video I'm going to answer the challenge I set you guys last week on my Facebook page, and that was, can you guys name anything that Apple has invented? Now I'll go over the rules here. The challenge was, can you name anything that Apple invented on their own? It has to be hardware, not software, even though I do have a couple of pieces of software on my list here, but I knew the answers to them, so they're there. It has to be hardware, not software, and it has to be after Steve Wozniak left the company in 1985, because he was a genius and he invented a lot of things. So we had quite a few entries. I have my notes here with me, so let's get into these inventions. Okay, so let's see. First off, FireWire. Well, Apple did have FireWire on some of the older computers, alright. FireWire was actually Sony and IBM, actually. It's a common myth that Apple invented that. Someone else said the mouse and keyboard input, the graphical user interface. Nope, it was Xerox that actually invented that one. The Newton, first PDA came about well before the Newton. It was the Pigeon. Hope I'm pronouncing that right. It's P-S-I-O-N. It was the Pigeon Organizer from 1984. So the smartphone. A lot of people think that Apple invented the first smartphone. Actually, it was the IBM Simon from 1992, and also they didn't even come up with the name. Ever heard of a company called Linksys? Well, Linux essentially. Linksys had a phone out. It was a non-smartphone, mind you, but it was called the iPhone, and basically just that ended up in the courts. And Apple obviously won the right to use the name iPhone. The tablet computer. It's actually quite difficult to pinpoint when the first tablet computer came on the market, but it was long before the iPad. The earliest one I could find was a device called the Grid Pad in 1989, which was very, very basic. There was also Windows tablets, and they were awful to use. I actually got a chance to use one in CIT when they were going through some of the some really old gadgets. Wow, they were painful to use. I think that was because they used Microsoft XP as the operating system, which wasn't designed for. They weren't designed for touchscreen at all. So even the iPad name, like the iPhone, didn't start with Apple. The iPad name actually was first brought into the market with the ProView iPad. Now this was not, it was in the early 2000s. It wasn't unlike the first iMac. It was all in capitals and it stood for Internet Personal Access Device. iPad. Thunderbolt. Apple did have Thunderbolt before just about anyone else, but that is Intel. It's based on Intel's LightPeak technology. MagSafe. This is another good one because people are going, they have a patent on this. It's true, they do have a patent on it, but they didn't invent it, unfortunately. Asian crockery products have been using this for years and years and years. Asian rice cookers, Asian pans. It just made sense, because if you trip over the wire, it just unplugs itself. The device won't fall on the floor and break, so it won't cause a fire. So it made sense. The first MP3 player, the Diamond Rio, actually was the first MP3 player. It was not the iPod. Okay, now this is where the software kind of comes in. OS 10 was brought up in a direct message. This is unfortunate, because if you said OS 9, I would have given it to you. OS 9 was a mess, and Apple made that by themselves. And OS 10 is not Apple. It's Unix BSD based. They just made a new kernel for it. God, OS 9 was horrible. I actually put down on my notes in brackets, tiny writing, it was crap. I'm describing OS 9. Oh. A lot of people, some other people also said iOS, but iOS was actually a side effect of having gone to Unix, actually, because Unix BSD is so adaptable to other platforms. So they were able to adapt it for mobile tablets and smartphones, which they got a lot of kudos for, but the backbone is still Unix. It's not Apple at all. It's designed to be that awesome. Some people said the App Store. Nope. Linux Ubuntu did that 2 years previously, and I think there were a number of other companies that did App Stores before Apple. The first laptop computer, it was the Osborne one from 1981. So yeah, the MacBook wasn't the first laptop. The Apple Pippin, the games console. So the Apple worked with Bandai and IBM on that, so they didn't do it on their own. The Apple QuickTake camera, same problem there. It was Kodak and Fuji. Both the Pippin and the QuickTake camera were shite. So yeah, thank God not many people remember them. Here's a good one, because this is the connector everyone knows Apple for, the 30-pin dock connector, which you see on the bottom, well, you used to see on the bottom of the iPhone and everything. Nope. Motorola. Motorola is the one who invented that one, and they have a good patent on that as well. Someone said that the first laptop ever with a handle. Nope. It was the DataView 25 from 1985. Oh God, I saw a video on someone actually playing with this thing. It was hilariously old, but it was slightly bigger than a lunchbox, and it had a wireless keyboard, but it was infrared. An infrared keyboard from 1985. Wow! Just tells you how far we've come, hasn't it? Smartwatches. A lot of people kind of starting to come out now. A lot of people think that Apple invented the smartwatch. We already know, because a number of other companies had the watches out before Apple did. Before the Apple Watch came out, they had the Pebble, the Galaxy Gear. So yeah, Apple were quite late to the plate on that one, actually. So finally, unibody. The unibody used in the MacBook Air. Well, this is actually an interesting one, because to look at unibody, you actually have to understand what it actually is. Basically, it's a single piece of aluminum that's machined. It's machined aluminum, so basically you get a block of aluminum and you cut it down into the shape you want. A couple of problems with it. First, very damn slow. Two, incredibly wasteful. Nobody in their right mind would use that for a manufacturing process, especially on mass scale. Like when you look at how they're usually used, mostly it's for aircraft. When they're putting parts together for aircraft, they're using machined aluminum. They don't actually cast it. Cast aluminum is basically what they heat it up, melt it, turns into a liquid, and you pour it into a cast. But that's not nearly as strong as machined aluminum. So the the trick was Apple did have to invent the technique to do it in bulk, to do it en masse, but because no one's crazy enough to frickin' be that wasteful. So yeah, I'll give you unibody. You have to stretch it a bit much, but I'll give you it. It's they invented the technique for unibody, so I have to give you guys that one. So if you guys actually have any others you think I should do, put them in the comment section down below. I hope you liked this video. If you did, hit that like button. And if you like the videos I'm producing, hit the subscribe button, and don't forget to hit the bell icon to get notified of my latest content. Now, just a quick message, I will be on holiday in Rosslare for the next 2 weeks. We're actually leaving tomorrow, so I'm actually busy packing up right now. So I will do 2 videos, 1 per week. I'm not sure what they're going to be yet, so sorry about that. One is definitely going to be out, I'm hoping to do another walking talking video on the beach there. Hopefully the wind isn't that bad. Please God it isn't. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you next time.